Alright, so now you have no problem with how to highlight. If you still have a problem, we have started recording. Okay? Okay, time up, time up. Where you're going, you'll be working against time, deadlines. Okay? So now we have done the highlighting rule for those which are above. Now, in a case that you want to remove that rule that you placed, what do you do? Okay, so I come to conditional formatting, then I say what? Correct. So I come here, clear rule from selected. Correct. If I say entire sheet, which means the entire sheet, I'll clear the rule. But now you only do it to that one. Are we together on that one? These two are small things. They don't sound very nice, but they are very important. Okay? Take note. You come and say clear rule from the entire sheet. To remove all the rules that you did for the entire sheet. Back to square one. There, one of the things that there are commands that when you do in Excel, you cannot undo. But that one you can undo. Have you seen? But there are commands. Most with those commands, they can be able to tell you that when you do this, you can't recover it. But at times, just be cautious. These are computers. At times they can misbehave. So you always be cautious. Right? Okay. Alright. So control Y, that is we're doing what we undo. So we have seen that. Now we're going to look at another, which is you've got what you call the top bottom row. Okay? So if I come here, I can say I want to find the top 10 items. Okay? We're doing conditional formatting here. This is Excel. So I want to find the top 10 items. So which means those which are on top 10. So top 10, it means the top 10, isn't it? Top 10 means the top 10. Okay. So I just click OK. Then to highlight the top 10. Now you're not able to see anything right now, huh? So I start to scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Have you seen that one, 29? It has been highlighted. Why? Because it's in the top 10. Okay? I'm scrolling down. Scrolling down. Oh, we just bypassed another one. There's another 29 there. We're looking for the top. There's another one there. You're seeing them, huh? So at times you don't want to go through this whole hassle of looking like that, isn't it? It's very cumbersome because of a lot of records. So home, control home, and go back at the top. Then now what I'll just do here is to come here and say cause a filter. Then I can come here and say filter by what? That color. Then you have the top 10. Are you seeing that? Is that not simple? Is it not simple? It is simple, right? Okay. So we have learned that. So I'm going to clear the filter here. Clear the filter. Now, I want to press another rule. So, what I do is that I highlight the data which I'm dealing with. Then I can come here, conditional formatting. Now, this rule is going to be a little bit different. I'll come here and use data bars. If you want to know how big a number is, like a number, it will compare all the numbers and give it a length. Okay, this one is best shown by doing that. Have you seen like 29? It's quite big. So the data bar, have you seen how long it is? Have you seen 4 million is quite small? So right now, these are visual effects or visualization of data. This is what you call visualization of data. You're able to see your data. Oh, okay. Because of this and this and this and this. This one is this long, this one is this big. You're getting it? Alright. I'll give you time. Let me clear that view. I come back here. I show you another one. Now this, when you come to the color, I wanted to avoid this one, but it's fine. When the data is big, you don't see it so much. So if I do this, it will tell you, right now I've made it that a certain color is more prominent. When this color, it means it's a big number. If it is this other color, which means a small number. So it creates a gradient. Now, let me show you how this gradient is created. I come here, so we go back up. Okay, so when I come up here, I highlight this, then I come here. Under here where it says, let me clear this rule so that I show you. Okay. I come here and I say, I use this gradient. Now this gradient, when I come to it, I click on it. Then when I come here, I come to manage rules. Okay? When I click on manage rules, have you seen what I have here? Graded color scale. So I click on this graded color scale and I say edit rule. Right? I click on it. Then here it will tell me like maximum, which means the highest value. Have you seen that? The color should be red. Then minimum, the color should be green. Midpoint should be yellow. So it creates this gradient. So according to the number where it is, when it grades it, it gives it that. I hope you understood that part. Do you understand that one? So here if I want, I can come and change the color to black. Have you seen the gradient has changed here? Okay, then if I say okay, then I say okay. See now? Alright. We're recording a video. If you missed it, you'll still be able to get it. But you have understood how it works, right? That's the more important part. If you have understood how it works, you can do a recap. So now, let's do the last part of it. Let's look at which one. Icons. Here you can have icons just to show you how big it is, things like that. You see those things, those icons. You go and try them out, right? But these icons are just showing you how is this number low, is this number high. If you go to manage rule, you can be able to change those things. Okay? You know how to go to manage rule, isn't it? When you've entered the rule, you can be able to go to manage rule. I took time to show you more things on conditional formatting because conditional formatting is vital. You think somebody has done a lot of things, but this is what they are doing. Just going to click, 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 and somebody comes with a good visualization. You enter data, bam, automatically it turns to green. Why? Because they had already entered a rule in that cell. that if you enter 5 here, 5 is below the average, which is 7, so it becomes green automatically. You get the point? Okay. What I've said, I can demonstrate to you this way. Have you seen this is an empty cell, empty sheet? See, this is an empty sheet. So somebody will format the sheet like this. He has selected cells. He goes and formats and says highlight blue if it is equal to 23, then you should give it a red color or rather a green color. I say okay. I've entered that room. Okay? So if I come here and I say I am 21 years old, nothing happens. You see that? But if I come and say I'm 23 years old, automatically changes to green, right? But you'll be like, how come? They did the rule already. So the attempts of giving templates which have got these rules already done. And this is what we just did. Does it make sense? Okay. If it makes sense, let's move on. Any question before we go further? Any question? Memoir? Any question? Okay, let's do it. Where to what? Oh, you want to get the top 10. All right. Filtering rule. Okay. So I'm going to remove the filter here. I'll remove the filter, then I'll come and say, I want to get the top 10. I come to here and say, where's top 10? Okay. So I go with top 10, right? Then I say, okay. It's highlighted, right? You remember that, right? Then you come to filter here. Then you say, close that filter. Sorry. I'm going to remove that. When you just click on the heading, and then you say filter. Then you come here and say filter by color. Then you come here and filter by this color. So that's the color you brought in. When you're doing a conditional formatting, it's so that on the other side you could choose whatever color you want that chart to be formatted. So by default, it's usually this brick red color, right? By default, you understand when I say by default? Yes, you understand it? No. Do you understand when I say by default? Okay. When you're saying by default, is that automatically this is the color which has been set as a standard. Okay, it's a standard color, so it's the ultimate color which you start with, but you can change it to another color. So by default, that will be the color. You get it? Are we together? All right. I've explained that one. Let's push on. I don't even forget what I want the next thing. That one we did. Okay. So I showed you how you can how they can be able to customize the sheet in advance before you even have it. Now let me show you a bit on on sheets. Let me do this. I want to show you a bit on sheets, how they work. So I'll go to pivot tables. Sorry, is it not pivot tables? Charts. Okay. So right now I'm going to show you how we can be able to work with charts. Okay. They will tell you that when you're dealing with data visualization, let me explain this. Data visualization sounds fancy, but it's nothing much. Data visualization is how you can easily see data. So when you do your data analysis, you have to present it in a way that people can be able to see it. Okay? You get the point? That way of presenting that people can easily be able to see it is what you call data visualization. Okay? And the things that they usually use for that are charts, conditional formatting, these different things. Okay? Alright? So I'm just going to show you general thing when it comes to charts. I've already shown you on conditional formatting. So when you're dealing with charts, you've got a couple of charts here. This is the recommended chart. So if I click in the table here, and I come here and say chart there, that recommended chart, you click and you wait for it. Here you have got the recommended charts. You see that? So right now, I might probably say I want to deal with these charts. These ones, they don't make much sense, but let me see if I can be able to deal with it, these ones. So I just come and say, okay, let's see if I can work with it, this chart. Then I come and say, okay. So what is this chart showing me? At this point, you might not even understand what it's giving you, okay? Because you just click and say, okay, give me this chart. But now, excuse me. Let me just zoom out a bit. This chart, you can move it to the side. By just double clicking and dragging it. Okay, so that's how you're able to, when you click on it, you're able to bring a chart. But now, for your chart to be able to make sense, let me delete this one. You have to have a plan first. What is your plan? Probably you would say, I want to see the total amount, like in this album, you have got an album which was sold out. Now, or probably the artist here, you have got the Beatles. Now you want to know the total number of records or the total amount which was sold by the Beatles. Not in a particular way, but you just want to know how many, you want to present the data on how much the Beatles sold out. Okay? Now, to be able to do that, I'll show you something small here. Okay? Let's do this. There are moments that you can grab data like this and then copy that one. Say copy, I've copied that data. Do you know how I've done that one? Okay, the way I've done it is this. Okay, I click on this one, that's a C. Then I press Control. Then I come and click on this one. Have you seen that? Control. Once you're pressing Control, you go and click on the F. When you're pressing also Control and you go and click on the other one, it highlights, right? What is? Do you understand that part? Has it worked out? Have you tried it out? Okay. So I copy that, then I can go and put it on a different sheet. Okay. So I have it here on a different sheet. Okay. So now I have my data for the details and everything. Now I want to organize this data in a chart. So I can come here, click on this. If I want, I can change this data into a table, or I can highlight the data like that. Then go to insert. Then I go to charts here. Then I can come to this one, the histogram, and I say I want to use this one. Then I can come and say okay. Come on, come on. Let me just make this one into a table. Set table. Okay. Then I want to form a chart. Insert. Come select the chart there. I want to view this chart. Okay. Trying to find a chart which would look more what I'll do is that I'll reduce the data so that you can easily see it. Control Z. You know what? I've just copied a small portion, right? Which I'm putting here. Okay, so I've got this small data set, and in this small data set, what I want to do is to create a pivot chart. So I make it into a table, a chart. So I go to insert, then I come here, I can come and say on the recommended, these are the most recommended. You can choose whatever you want, you can use a pie chart, but let's use this one, the first one. We say okay. So now what you have here is giving you the artist on your left, then on the below here it's giving you the amount. Do you get that one? You can stretch it a little bit if you want. So down here you have the amount, up here you have got the artist. So this artist, the crash sold this amount, sold this, then you've got this one. This is how much they sold, this one. So you're just giving you a visualization. It's easier to see your data. Do you see it? Does it make sense? Does it make sense how to use a chart? Do you see that this data which I've gotten here, just I got a small component of it, so that you can easily see the data. People are very quiet. I feel probably I lost you when I was doing those things. Did I lose you? But we are okay up to this point, right? Okay. So which means here under total sales here, you know this one you can change it, you can highlight. When you double click on it, it becomes highlighted like this. Then you can change it to whatever you want. Give it a title. So whatever title you give it, it will accept. Okay? You can change that. This you can make it larger. Alright. Yes, please. How I got the artists and the total sales. Okay, so how I got them here. Let me go up there. You see, when I want to highlight a column, when I want to highlight a column, I'll come here and click and say, boom, the column is highlighted, right? But now, if I want two columns to be highlighted, but they are not next to each other, I would want to come here and highlight another one, like for instance, total sales here. This is what F is. If I click like this one is no longer highlighted, right? Okay. So in order to do that, to say keep that one highlighted, whilst I'm highlighting the other column, I will press the Control button. Then I'll drag my cursor to the one which I want to highlight and click on it, and both of them will be highlighted. Have you seen that point? Try it. Have you tried it? No, it can't take you this long. It can't take you this long. Have you tried it? Hmm? No. It can't take you this long. It can't take you this long. You press Control, you click on one title there, then you go and click on the other one. Hmm? Follow me. Follow me. Have you seen how it is there? Have you seen? No, have you seen there? Don't do it right now. You press on the C here, eh? Because you want to highlight that column, right? Then you want to highlight also F, isn't it? So you press Control, then you go and click on the F. Have you seen that? Try it. You need to be quick. Do you know where Control is? Do you know where the button Control is? Yes. Have you done that? Is it working? You can be helping out where someone is. Sorry? She's having trouble, so just show her what I'm doing right now. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell is this. Look at this. I want to highlight both. This C here, then I press Control and I also click on F to highlight both. You see what I was talking about? Does it make sense now? Okay. So when you have done that, you now do a Control C to copy. Control C to copy. Hey. When you do a copy, that you'll see. You get the point? You get that point? Okay. When you've done that now, you can go to a new sheet. You can create a new sheet and go and say Control V, and you paste your data there. It will come. Have you seen that? Don't be afraid of the computer. Don't be afraid of it. Whatever mistake you can make on the computer, it can be corrected. Okay? Are we okay? Lighten up, lighten up, lighten up, don't. Okay? Just lighten up. Have you tried it? Okay. Okay. What I'll try to do is this. I want us to, I don't know how, do you have access to internet? Yes. But on your phone you have access to internet. What we might do is that we can start to schedule our online classes. Okay? Anyone who has a challenge on these other parts, I can schedule up an online class for you. Whereby I meet up with you, I do this for you, I send you the video, you give me feedback. Okay? Alright? Is that okay? So that we balance it. Is that okay? I want you by the time you're done, you're a pro. Okay? But now, if I dedicate myself to do that, I need you also to be dedicated more than I am dedicated. Isn't it, sir? You're busy struggling to put together the form. Okay. All right. So we've done that. We've known how to be able to bring up the table. Let's see another one. Let's use another one. Let's just try to use probably a pie chart. I'm going to back to the data which I created. Where is that data? Okay. So this one, I'll just move it aside. Come on, move. Okay. And I come back to my data here. I want to bring a pie chart using system data. So I can come here and say insert, and I can come. This is the pie chart here. So I can select what pie chart I want to bring in. You get the point? So these are different pie charts which you can be able to bring. So I'll go with the most basic one, which is this one. Okay. You see here that this pie chart is giving you the proportions. Like this blue color here, the Beatles. This blue color is which one here? This one, isn't it? This color, right? Then there is red one. That red, it's orange. This one, isn't it? So it's giving you, like out of 100%, this is the allocation of how everyone, that's the share which they got. Then when you come up here, you've got different options here. You've got this option, you can go with that option there. See that one? Then you can come and say, okay, I want to go with this option. It's even indicating to you the percentages. You can go for that option. That option. That option. It will show you different things. Okay? How are we doing so far? Yes, please. It can show you the amount. Let me see if there's already a chart here which What's that part which we do with? So here it's saying percentage, right? If I click value here, you see that it will give you the value there. You see it, huh? So you've got this part whereby you can even remove the percentage. You can put the percentage. Yes, you can have the value, you cannot have the value. You just have to make sure that you select the just have to make sure that these ones are selected. You see that they are selected right now. So you right click and format, and you come in and say value, and you have the numbers there. But at times you just have to be strategic on what you choose because some things might look dirty. Okay, so one of the goals of data presentation is for your data to look smart and easy to read. Okay, so in such a case, you can have two data tables or charts. One is showing that, the other one is showing the other. So people have got options. So, okay, this 20% is being represented by this value this side. Okay, all right. I will not go into details on some of the few things that you can do with charts. There are a lot of things that you can do. You can attach formulas to your charts. We'll do that under data analysis. You can write formulas such that charts automatically increase as you're increasing the data inside. Yes, they can increase when you've created a table, right? They can automatically increase. But there's another way of doing it whereby automatically as you increase the data inside, also increases. Okay? All right. So that's on the charts. What time is it? 18? Jesus. This time was cheating me. The thing is 17:29. Okay. Alright. So if there's no question, we can call it an end today to this. Yeah. I'll spend a little bit, I think I'll spend 3 days just to finish up with Excel because Excel will be more important to you than Word necessarily will be. Because few people get to know Excel. And later on, we'll be able to do that. Any questions so far? Any questions? Okay. You ready to shift into the another class? Just say hi to somebody. what and what. So as you are shifting to the different class, your mind is now aware that you're shifting. It's important. It works, huh? Mm, I would ask for a flash so they can give you the one. I need to give you a file that you need to work on. Okay. Any other? Sorry, continue. So today what we will do will be a foundation that we are going to lay to formulas. Muchly what so what let's see, so there are things like pivot tables. These are very critical. But what we do is that pivot tables will be doing them as we are about to start another class. Formulas, we'll probably do a pivot table. Another one will probably do another one which is trace. Those things that require us to click and want will be like warm-up sessions for us to get into formula, right? There we'll start with just some formulas, small formulas that we're going to be able to use as we go on. Right? Okay. So we'll all move to the sheet. Which is FO, which is formulas. We'll do some small formulas here and there. Have we managed to get the it's called introduction. Introduction. It's called introduction. Then you go to the sheet which is written F4. Are we there? Not yet? Oh, okay. 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 So one thing which I would want to make emphasis on is this. Do not try to memorize the formula, but I would want you to know that this type of a formula exists. Okay? And this type of a formula which does things like this exists. Don't memorize the formula. This formula, you can easily find it. But what is not easy to find is to know that this is possible. Alright? Now I'm going to show you what is possible. You understand what I'm saying as we go. So, I've got a list here. This list is Sunday, Monday, just like that. Okay? So what I want to do is that I want to count the number of rows from here to there. Have you seen that? I want to count them. How many rows are there? Now, the importance of knowing the number of rows, you will not understand it right now, but you will see its benefit as we go on. So I'll go ahead and say equals. When I say equals, the formula for me to count the rows is rows. So I just type in rows, then it gives me a suggestion. Then I'll go ahead and say tab to accept that formula. Then it's going to ask me for an array. Now when it tells you an array, it's just telling you what is your selection or what is your choice of selection. Right? So my array is this one here. That's my array. So it's B3 to B8. That's my array. Then I can close, then I just press enter, then it tells me that your number of rows is 6. What happens if where there is 1 is there, I delete, then I press enter? It still counts 6. Why? Because it's not counting rows which have got content, but it counts how many rows have you highlighted. You get it? Okay. Control Z, it's back. That's how you count rows in Excel. Now, as you do for rows, you can also do for columns. You say columns. I can double click on the one which I want. Columns. Which columns do you want to count? I can come here and just double click like this up to that point. These are the number of columns I want to count. Then I can close. Then I can press enter. Then it tells me the number of columns I have. Whether they are content or not, it will still count. Is it clear? Okay. All right. Let's try another one. We'll go to the offset. Now, when you're dealing with offset, one of the benefits of offset is to say, when you count or when you're given a data set, you can write a formula to say rearrange this data set in descending order or ascending order. Now, when you find the last person in that data set, I want you to offset 3 times going back up to get the third last person. That is a big formula which requires offset. Right? So I'm giving you a scenario. So in this case, I'm going to show you how offset can just work on its own, but we'll do it in a bigger one. So we're saying equals, then I say offset. Okay? Press tab to accept that one. Now, you have to give it a starting position. So, probably my starting position is to say Friday. Okay? I click on Friday. Then I'm saying, by how many rows do I want it to offset? Going upwards, not downwards. So I would say I want it to offset by 3 rows. So I can click 3. But if I click 3, 3 is positive, which means to go down. You see that the numbers are starting from 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So if I want it to go back up, I have to use a negative to say go back 3 times. Back, not forward. So I put negative 3. Okay, let me give it some space. Okay, so negative 3, that is on the rows. Then on the columns, do I want any offset on the columns? If I don't want, I'll just put 0. So just comma 0. Then I can close. So when I press enter, it is giving me Tuesday. Why? Because it saw Friday. Then it said I'll offset 3 times in the backwards, which is 1, 2, 3. That is how offset works. Now, what I can do here is this. I can use offset not by just typing the numbers, but by making cell reference. So like here, I said Friday, I can click Friday, then I say comma. Then the other one, which is the cell which I want to use, is this one here, which is for rows. Okay, which is L4. So I can come and say L4. Okay, that is the cell, comma. The column is this one here. I want to use, this is where I'm going to put my columns. That is M4. Then I close. Then I press enter. It will give me Friday. Why? Because here under rows, there is nothing. Consider it to be 0. Okay? There where there is column, there is nothing, 0. So it will return the same Friday. You understand that part? Do we understand that part before I move? Okay? Yes, we do. So I want to offset this by -1. See what happens. Text Thursday. Then I want to get October, so I'm going to offset this one by 1 because I'm going in the right direction. So if I press enter, it gives me October. If I come back to this formula, if I start my what on this one, like for instance, I want to start it on 4. I can come here and say this should be G4. So I press G4. This thing picks up Monday. That's where G4 is, isn't it? So if I press enter, so if I say G4, which is Monday, it will offset 1 going to Sunday, then move right because of the column to June. So it picks up June. Okay, doesn't make sense right now, but it will as we start to. Today will not make much sense. Okay. Let me zoom a little bit out so we can be able to see this properly. Now, there are cases now that you want to transpose data. Okay? What is transposing of data? Data has been arranged in a vertical way. You want to rearrange it into the horizontal. There are 2 ways you can do this. You can copy and paste in a transpose way, or you can actually do a formula transpose. Let me show you the first one, which is using, let me get that. So the first one you'd say, you would come here, then highlight that data that you want to copy, then say copy, then you would go where you want to put it. You just highlight the first cell where you want it to start from, right click, then come and say transpose. Okay, so you click on transpose. When you click on transpose, your data has been twisted or tilted. You get that one? Are you seeing that Sunday was in the column, but now it's in the row? So the days. You know what I mean? Okay. Then if you want to use the formula, this is what happens. So I got this data point, I can say delete. Okay. So this is my area which I want to transpose the data on. So when you're dealing with a formula, the way you transpose data, you have to highlight the area that the data has to sit on. When you have highlighted the area, you now say equals, then you can say transpose. I accept that one. What is my array? My array is this one. That's my array. When I close, but now, when you are saying you want to press enter, because you are dealing with an array, and this is in transpose, you have to press shift, then press enter. Shift enter. Should be control shift enter. Control shift, right? Yeah, control shift enter. So you start up again, you start again. It's because there are formulas whereby when you're doing an array, let me get the, okay, this is my area, and I say equals transpose, then that is my data, then I close, Control Shift, Enter, then transposes my data. Okay. All right. All right. Just when you see me delete some numbers, you can just delete them also. You're following along. Now, we're at this point. In Excel, there is a way in getting data in a different cell by making reference to another cell. So data can be in cell B2, but I go to C2. Then that C2 will direct me to B2. This is what I mean. Have you seen my data here is in C12, right? Like this number is in C12, right? So I write C12 here, such that when I come to this one will direct me to this one. So how does it work? I'll come here and I say equals indirect. When I say indirect, I come and make reference to B12. Then I close. Then I press enter. It gives me what is in C12. Because when it goes to B12, it tells it that you have come here, but this is not your destination. Your destination is C12. So here, if I change this one to C13 and press enter, you will see that number will change. You see that one? It's the indirect way of making reference to Excel. Up to this point, do we have any question? Sorry? No, there's no formula in there. I just wrote these words. Just type here. Let me do this. Have you seen here? If you want to know if in that cell there is a formula, when you click on the cell, when you come to the formula tab here, or the formula bar, you will see that it will show you the formula. So here there is no formula. It's just hard-coded words there. Okay? So here what I've written, this is a cell reference. You know how we name cells, isn't it? When we started, I told you that this is how you name cells. So when you give a cell, Excel understands when you're using indirect, then it comes to that, it checks, okay, this is a cell reference. So it picks up that, then it interprets it, goes and picks that value, then gives it to where it's required. Okay. You can try the out of C16 just like that. Let's move on to I'll skip lookup because in my experience, most of the times when we do lookup, people are asking, what's the benefit? What's the benefit? But we'll skip it for now. I'll go to formula text. Formula text. At times you find yourself in a situation whereby you don't know what formula has been used in that cell. Yet you can still be able to check it here and say, okay, let me check. Oh, this is the formula which was used. Right? You're able to check it. Okay? But there are times whereby you're doing something, but you want others to know what formula has been written in that cell. So you put the formula beside. But in Excel, if you write the formula and you put it beside, Excel will not know that you've written it. You are just trying to want to leave it like that as a formula. It will calculate, and if it's not getting what you want, it will give you an error, isn't it? So there's a formula that Excel has in order to tell it to say, I want the formula to be left like that. Okay? This is what you call formula text. So you come and say, I want this formula to be shown, so I can come here and say equals, and I say formula text. Okay? Then I can click on the cell which has got the formula. Then I can close. When I press enter, it gives me the formula which is in there. So, depending on what you're doing, that could be helpful. Okay? Let's scroll down. Formula text. When you press equals, then you write the word formula text. It's not coming. Oh, probably you're using an older version. Sorry. Okay. Let's scroll down. Let's go to trim formula. I already showed you, right? Trim formula. The trim. Yeah, I showed you. Okay, for the sake, equals trim. Then you select, enter, put it down, and the data is trimmed. Okay. I'm going to delete those numbers there. Okay. Well, on the generating of random numbers, okay, this is quite vital. For instance, if you are asked to say you've got 30 people that are supposed to be chosen for a particular meeting to go to. Now, they are quite indifferent on who to choose. Okay? So you can use a random way of selecting, say, okay, this one and this one. It's a random way. Okay? It's random in selection. It's not biased. How can you be able to do that? So in this case, I'm going to use in a situation whereby you are probably a teacher, or you're probably, I don't know what profession you'll be in, but you want to give random scores to people for the sake of doing a presentation or something. It's data, just fake data. So how are you going to do it? So the scores are supposed to be between probably 1 to 100. You just say equals, then you say rand. Now your rand there, you close it, even if you don't have anything in it. You press enter, it gives you a random number there. You see that you've got a random number there. Then you drag it. So you've got random numbers. But you won't see this. The reason why is this. Rand only works from 0 to 1. Okay? Since rand works from 0 to 1, and your numbers are supposed to be between 1 to 100, what you will do is this. You increase the decimal points. Because right now, these numbers which you are seeing, they have got a lot of decimals going forward. They are being rounded off. This is what's happening. So I come here and increase the decimals. Have you seen these are the numbers which are there? So these numbers are quite longer, but they're just being given some decimals. Alright? So you're given this number and it's in this, I increase the decimals. So if it is between 100, which means the decimal places must be 2, isn't it? 2 decimal places. Then I can come here and say, oh gosh, what did I do? Go back up. I can come here and I'll click on this and I'll say, multiply this by 100. Okay? So if I do that, it gives me 17.08. So I run this down. Okay, continue running it down. I have those numbers, then I can hide the decimals. I have my random numbers between, oh, it's okay. I've just put in random numbers. Do you see any usefulness of this? Okay. You have generated random numbers instead of struggling. But there is a better and easier way to generate random numbers. That is by using what you call rand between. Instead of running through all that, then 10 and what, then there's an easier way. And that easier way is this. You can say equals, then you say rand between. Between what? 1, comma, that is the bottom number, and 100. Okay? Just enter. There, the random number are done. You can do between 50 and 60. You can do all those stuff just to generate random numbers. Any question on that one? Okay, let's move on. Kindly delete what I'm going to delete. There are cases when you're given data and it is in a different case as the uniform data that you want. Right? So you're given data probably it's in lower cases, and that data has to be in upper cases. So how can you be able to quickly change that data from lowercase to uppercase? I know. What you do is this. You press the caps lock, then you start to type John's, next one. Well, you would have done that earlier, but now this is the best way of doing it. Okay? Then you are saying, when am I going to be done? Okay. You just say equals. Then you say upper. Then you select. Then you just press enter. It turns it into uppercase. So you can come here, click on that, then click on the angry rabbit, it does it for all. Your data has been turned into uppercase. So you need to put thousands of names. You can just write that formula, then run it down. Done. What if they have given you in capital letters and it has to go into small letters? Well, simple. What is the formula? Correct. Equals lower. So for instance, these are capitals. You press enter there, then they are in small letters. You run it down. In other cases, they want you to capitalize every first letter. For that one, it's what? Correct. I will not do that one. Okay? Alright. We move on to the next. Alright. Let me just remove what. Alright. So at times you're given phone numbers, probably you are importing them from a certain database. Now that database was structured when it's writing phone numbers, these spaces, this and what. It was also a format. So when you've imported that data from your database into Excel, you might have this format of numbers. And at times, when you want to take this data to a certain platform, it doesn't accept that format of the numbering because it will take the spaces for something else. Okay? So there are times when you can be able to substitute spaces. Remember we said you can use trim, but trim cannot remove one space because it considers that normal. Any one space in between, it can't remove. You have to use other ways. So in this case, I've got these phone numbers and I want to remove the spaces in between. I now use what you call the substitute formula. This helped us because we were using this, we had phone numbers that we needed to use for bulk SMSing. So when you want to send bulk SMSs, you get those phone numbers, you upload them to a platform which will send bulk SMSs. So this formula helped us to solve that. So you say equals, then you say substitute. Okay? You select the text that you want, then you say comma. Now the first thing it is asking you is this. What do you want to substitute? Or what is that old text? Okay? So the old text now becomes the space. But how do you tell Excel that this is a space? How? A space. Yes, sir. You want me to answer? Yes, how do I tell Excel that this is a space? Okay, so double quotation, space. You press the space button, then close it with double quotation. This is how we do it. Double quotation, space, double quotation. Then you say comma. We have answered the old text that we want to remove. One. What is the new text that we want to put in? No space. Now, how do you put no space? This is how you put it. Double quotation without space. Then you cross. Then press enter. You see that all the spaces which were in your number have been removed. So I can come here and run it down. Up to this point. Any question? Well, you can use that formula for many things. On this one, okay. You're not going? Okay. All right. Let me just bring up the formula. I said substitute. Then I selected the text that I want to deal with, which is this one. This is. Then the first one, after that I put a comma. So I want to remove the spaces. The spaces is double quotation, then space, then double quotation, then comma. Then the next one is double quotation, not a comma, not a space. Then you close. Still not going? No, don't have to. So that is the sheet. Oh, you need all the double quotation because the sheet. Yeah, I'm putting it. Please tell me when it's time up. My time is wrong. Okay. So that's how you do substitute. But before I go further, let me just show you that this formula can do more. For instance, I can come here. Have you seen the central there? I can say substitute. What I want to substitute from here, click, comma. So I want to substitute a particular letter from central. So in this case, I want to substitute A. Okay? I want to remove A. So I forgot to tell you this. When you are making reference in a formula to a text, you always have to put it in double quotations. A text is what you call a string variable. Right? So every time you are making a reference to a text, put it in double quotations. So I'll put my double quotations, then I want to remove the A. I want to remove the A, comma. I want to replace that A with nothing. Or probably I want to replace it with B. Okay? Since you already know how to B. Okay. Have you seen that part? So if I press enter, that happens. So it doesn't have to be one letter. It can be that, it can be a whole letter like that. So you can use it for more things. Okay. Kindly remove that data which I've removed. We want to do something here. We want to get the first 9 digits of this phone number, because there are other platforms that don't allow you to enter the 0 digit. when you're doing, like for instance, we have got a system that can allow you to send almost about 500 WhatsApp messages at once. But the system cannot allow you to use the 0 digit. So how can you remove the 0 digits when you've got all those contacts? Okay, this is how you do it. You know how to remove. You see that a phone number has got 10 digits, right? So I can easily say I want to get out of that 10 digits, I want to get only 9 digits. That is by saying equals, then I say on the right side of that number, starting from the end, count 9 characters and give me only those 9 characters. That is by saying right, then I say of this, comma, how many characters do I want to get? 9. Then I close and I press enter. We have a problem. I asked for 9. I'm getting how many? 8. Yeah? Yes. The space has been counted. That is the problem. This is why we did the substitute earlier on. So now what we are going to do is this. Here, we're going to remove this and we're going to say equals substitute. From here, I want to substitute comma the empty space, comma, replace it with nothing. Then now, when I've done that, I want to say equals, then I say right of this, comma, get how many characters? 9 characters. And I close, and I press enter. And I get how many characters? This number was a bit long, right? There are 9, huh? Yeah. So you now have the 9 characters. So if I come here, I run this one down. Then I also run this down here. I would have gotten my 9 characters. Can we make it more fun? Now, instead of us writing 2 separate formulas, we can write one whole formula in one line. The substitute and the right, yes, in one. Let's try it. If we fail, we'll fail then. So, where are we? I delete this, and I come here, I delete this. So I'm going to say this. I want to get 9 characters of this number. But this number, before I get the character, it has to be substituted. How is this going to happen? I want us to be on the same page because if we're not, you ask me, how did you do that? Okay? So what we're going to do is this. We'll say equals. Then we'll say right. Okay? Right of which text? This text. But this same text that I want to get, I want it to be worked on before I get it. So I'm going to say substitute. Substitute what? This. What do I want to substitute in that? I want to substitute spaces, comma. Replace that space with non-space. Then I close. And I say, now my substitute is done. Then I go back to my right. Under my right, I'm saying how many characters after this substitute has been done. I want 9 characters. And I can close. Then I press enter. Then I get. It's working? Huh? That's how it is. You can run it down. Done for all. Up to this point. Any question? Did I actually forget to pause? I forgot to pause the previous class. It was recorded into this class.